is a box. It's just a box that we use. So a couple of things. When we multiply, we have two expressions. We have 3x minus 6, and the other one is 4x. So we're going to look at this. We're going to count the term, okay? So in this one, we have 2 terms. That's why I have 2 boxes, and this one had 1 term. So that's why I have 1 box. So I'm drawing this. This is a 2 by 1. So I have 2 terms, a 2 by 1. So 1, 2. And this, the second expression, I have only 1. So this is the 2 by 1. So I split it up into 2 over here and 1 over here. So what I would do, I'm going to label that on the top. So this is going to be 3x negative 6. So for each term, I put in for 1 box. And the 4x is right here. So to multiply, this is one of the methods that I would do. I know some of you know how to use FOIL method. Some may have seen it. We'll take a look at that later. But for today, we're going to use the Punnett square method. So any question for me so far with how I label, how I draw the box, and how I put the number for each box? Okay. All right, so if I look over here, I'm going to multiply. So it's called the area method. So what you can think of this one as an area of a square or a rectangle. So what you do to find the area of a rectangle is that you take a side, the length, multiply by the width, or base times height, right? Length times width. So the length is 3x, the width is 4x. I'll multiply them together. So I will do 4 times 3, which is 12. X times x. Remember, this is a power of 1. When you multiply it, you add the exponent. So this will give you 12x squared. So that will be my first box. I'm doing the same thing for the second one. This is my box. This is the box, right? Okay, so this side is negative 6, and you know this length is going to be 4x. I'm taking this, multiply with negative 6. So that gives you negative 6 times 4 gives you negative 24. And there's only one x, so that would be my final answer would be 12x squared minus 24x. So that's what it's saying when multiply polynomials together. So think of like an area, so the box would kind of help you to think about what number I'm going to multiply with which number. Is that easier for you to organize? So this 4x, so this is the same thing as 4x, right? So you multiply the box together. So length times width. And then whatever I have inside the box, that would be my answer right here. Okay. Questions? Okay. All right, moving on. We're going to do something similar, okay? Now, I already make the box for you, but you can think of this one. If you look at the first term, let's zoom in a little bit. If you look at this one right here, okay, I have 2 terms, the x, 2x squared and the 3, so this is a 2. This one is a 2 by 1. Because this one I have 2 terms. What do I mean by 2? This 1, 2 terms. The second expression I have 1 term. So it's a 2 by 1. So this is 2 by 1. If you look at the box, I have 2 by 1. Okay. So now I can label it in. So the first box is going to be 2x squared. The second box is negative 3. The one sideways is the 5x. So when I multiply, this is the first box that I'm looking at. Length times width, so 2 times 5 is 10. X squared times x to the first power. Remember, when you multiply, you add the exponent, so that's to be x to the third. Then you want to do the same for the second box, which is negative 3 times this number right here. So negative 3 times 5 is negative 15x. So your answer is going to be 10x to the third minus 15x. So this is a 2 by 1. How do you know? You're going to count the term is separate by the minus or the plus. So that's the terms that you looked at. Questions? Okay, I see some of you start working on paired X and you show the work, which is awesome. Thank you. If you're not doing that, make sure you take notes on a piece of paper so you have something to go back and refer to. All right, I'm going to start the next example. Is when you multiply something as a 2 by 2. So how do I know? It's separate by a minus, and here I have one term, two terms, right? The second expression, one term, two term. You see that? So this one is a 2 by 2. So that's how I have my box. 2 by 2 should be 4 boxes together. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. So the first one, I have 2x, negative 5. And then the second expression, I'm going to write that on the side. So this should be x, and this is 2. Okay, so step number 1, I'm going to multiply this first box. So it's length times width. So 2x times this like a 1. So 2x, 2 times 1 is 2. X times x would be x squared because you add the exponent. This is like a 1. You add them, so that gives you a 2. Okay. You can go sideways or going down. It doesn't matter if you like to go sideways. So I can do the next box, which is this one right here. Okay. That is mean this side is negative 5. The one that I highlight is negative 5. And this side is 1x. So I multiply them together. So negative 5 times 1 is negative 5x. Moving on, I can do the next box, which is this one right here, right? So this side is, I know, is 2. This side in the top is 2x, which is right here. Okay, so 2 times 2 is 4, 4x. Then I can do the last box. If you think about the last box, this side is 5. This side right here is 2. So negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. Questions so far on how I get the how I multiply for each box? We're not done yet. I'm just show you the steps. I'm just paused right now because we're not complete with this problem yet. Okay. So in here, one thing that you look at, you have these two have the same exponent. So this is the 1, right? So this is the one that we're going to call combined like term. So we're going to add them. We're not multiply anymore, okay? We already multiply into the box. Once we got the number in the box, we don't multiply anymore, but we add like terms. So these two are alike because they both have x to the first power. So the one is not alike, I just copy what I had, okay? So in here, 4 plus negative 5 give me negative 1x. And the 10 does nothing. So I would leave it. So this is my answers. Okay, so this one is harder. The 2 by 2 is a little bit harder than the 2 by 1. The 2 by 1, just copy down what you have in the box because it's only 2 things. It's fast enough. But for the 2 by 2, we have to look for the one in the middle where they have the like terms, and that's the one we want to combine. Okay, how do we know? Because this one has just x to the first power. This one is x to the first power. They are like terms. We want to combine them, right? So when I say combine, you add them. You no longer multiply. Whatever the number inside the box, you don't multiply anymore. You just add them, okay? Questions? Okay, we're going to do one more example. And then you let me know if you are ready for practice or you want me to do more example. Then we'll talk more about that. So when you run into something like this, it's x minus 3 to the second power. This one is the same as x minus 3 2 times. Okay, so this power tell you, so this is 2 by 2 again, it's still the 2 by 2. So this is 1, 2, so this is 2, 1, 2. Okay, this one, there's another 2, so it's 2 by 2. That's why I have a box of 4. So x minus 3, x minus 3. Multiply them in. I'm doing the first box. X times x would be x squared because when you multiply, you add the exponent. Be very careful. When you multiply, you add the exponent. Okay? Then we go to the next box. If you go this way, so x times negative 3, so negative 3x. We can move on to this box right here. So this right here tell you this side is negative 3. This side right here is x. So negative 3 times x gives you negative 3. And the very last box, right, this side is negative 3. This side is also negative 3. Multiply them, that give you negative 9. Combine like terms. These two are alike, so you add them. So x squared, negative 3 plus, we add them. Negative 3 plus negative 3 gives you negative 6. And this number right here is stay the same. So this is your answer. So that's how you multiply a 2 by 2. Okay, here's the questions. Do you want me to do more example or you are ready to do practice? Let me know.